I'll call the meeting to order on November 21st at 9 a.m. On the agenda, first item will be discussion on snow removal equipment. And Mr. Mark Sham.
All right, so I was looking for an additional piece of equipment for the snow removal, working along with Highway, Dave Taylor. Originally, I was looking for a piece of equipment like a skid steer, but I went down and reassessed. I don't think I need a skid steer. I have a Bobcat. I think this particular season I can be able to go down there with the machine. If it ends up being a problem, I can deal with it next year, but I think I'm okay. But I did put in for 2 snow blowers, and that's where I'm at right now. And also I'm looking for a cutting edge, a soft cutting edge for my Bobcat that I have. It's only about probably $300 or $400 for a poly edge, so I don't damage the freshly poured sidewalks. That's where I stand right now. Hopefully that was pretty clear.
Yeah, do you get a price on the 2 snow blowers?
I do. I was submitted by Sean for me. Is Sean on right now?
I don't think Sean was able to make it, but
oh, Mark, you're there. Okay,
Yep.
I didn't know you were there, Mark. I think it's around 75 or 70.
Another weekend, you know.
7,800, I think it was, for the 2 machines.
that sounds correct to me. Yep.
I just texted.
Oh, there
Hey
he is.
guys, I'm sorry.
Hey, Sean.
Sorry guys, yeah, it was about $7,500, or $8,000, something in that range.
Yeah, it was under 8, but yeah, it was 78, 75.
Combined or each?
Combined for both.
Combined for the both, yeah.
Yeah, no tax.
Okay. So that'll give you the 2 snow blowers to take care of that, as well as the that cutting edge for the existing Bobcat.
Correct.
With that equipment, you'll be able to take care of the not only the new school, but probably some other additional
Correct,
needs.
correct, exactly. And I'll have the manpower. I'll have them to send one of my guys down there, which is okay. I'm working with Dave on that. Dave's shorthanded, Dave Taylor, that is. So I plan to put one of my guys down there full time during the storm, best I can. And then right now we also use that same machine for the high school, especially where I am in the back here. It's very tight. That machine comes in handy here. So that's what that machine's being used for during the winter.
Gotcha. Okay. Any discussion by anyone?
I just want to make sure, Mark, you get what you need this year, because this is your only shot to get it under this funding source. And next year it would be Dave Taylor and I duking it out in the parking lot.
So Rich, you need a motion?
Well, yeah, that's why I was just waiting for any discussion, if anyone had any, before we went to the motion.
Rich, if I could just say one thing, I guess my only thought is just, we had budgeted something like, $2.5 million, or probably even more than that, for FF&E for the building. Like, there's all kinds of stuff we're buying under this project related to the building, whether it's, furniture and phones and switches and computers. And so to me, it seems perfectly appropriate if there's something that's going to be used on the site for the school. It's just another piece of equipment and it's not going to break the bank. So that's just my 2 cents.
Okay.
Right. And that's just my concern, Mark, that I don't want us, because of this year, we can't use a certain piece of equipment because it's newly poured cement, to not get it, not to get the piece of equipment that we're going to need next season, when we can use a piece of equipment that's going to make it easier for your guys.
Right, so it was a tough decision. So I went down there, I measured all over the place, took a guy with me. I can get everywhere pretty much. I'm confident I can get, it's tight some places. Like Dave likes to have, excuse me. Dave Taylor likes to have a little extra room when he's down there, meaning driving a machine around. But instead of having 2 machines, I just feel like I really think I have it with what I have.
And adding these additional snow blowers to get into those really
Yeah,
tight areas.
snow blower is gonna come in handy because every pod has like a mini courtyard in it, as you could,
Yep.
like, they get your fingers in, so they can, and some of them are blocked by the planters. So I gotta throw a machine in there and toss it into the street or toss it against the planters because you can't get in, they're gated. I got 2 areas that are gated. I can't get in there at all with a machine. So the snow blower is for sure for that. And they'll come in handy everywhere, obviously.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at. I know you're saying, Jen, I'm definitely making a tough call. I don't want to buy another machine, not because I'm cheap. I just think I really have it. You know, if I'm wrong, I really, really apologize, Doug and everyone, but I really think I have it with what I have. So that's why someone has to make the call, and I'm just going to do it.
You're the
All
right
right, I'll
person to
make
make
a-
the call.
I'll make a motion. Oh, sorry, Jill. Sorry.
I was just gonna say to Mark, sorry to have you feel under the pressure. We are trying to predict how the snow is gonna go when you haven't even done it yet. You know, it'd be easier if you had a year under your belt to say this didn't work. But we appreciate your effort. And I agree with Jane. I'd rather have you get what you think you're gonna need now, rather than when it's happening and then we don't have what we need. Well, we have the money.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I appreciate that. Like I said, I really think I have it. I apologize if I'm not, but I just don't feel like it. I don't think I need another piece of equipment to maintain right now, and I think I got it. I really do. I'm going to go with it.
I appreciate
Right.
that, Mark. I think you're the right person to make the decision, and I'll go with you.
Well, thank you.
So with that, I'll entertain a motion
May I ask the
for
question?
the 2 snow
Hold
blowers.
on, Alan's got a question.
Alan's got a
Okay.
question.
Mark, are we prepared for the turf field? Equipment wise? And Sean, do we have all the equipment that we need to maintain that ordered? And are we clear on who's gonna maintain that equipment and keep it? Is that gonna be Parks or is that gonna be us?
As far as we're gonna get a bunch of equipment with this project. Mark, Adrian sent over that list to the Parks Department so they could review it in advance of that field going in. Whoever owns and maintains that equipment, that's really a town decision. We'll turn it over to whoever you tell us to turn it over to, and then they will maintain. I think the idea was due to the land swap that became Parks afterwards,
Correct.
but that's kind of an internal above my pay grade conversation, I suppose. But we do have equipment, tractors and or whatever the pieces we need to maintain that field are included in the job.
Yeah, and that will be Parks. So as part of the land transfer and in the fields, that will be under the purview of the Parks, no different than the stadium and the ball fields and everything else. So that'll end up being maintained by the Parks, and that equipment will go to them, and they'll be responsible for maintaining that equipment in that field.
Just for the record, I don't recall us ever having a conversation about that. Just wanna put that on the record.
Okay, well, I mean, it's Parks property as part of the land transfer, and no different than they take care of the stadium today, and they basically take care of all the athletic
I
fields
believe
that the school
Sean
plays
might
for.
know, Mark might know. I believe it's on the drawing. Isn't it identified on the drawings, Sean or Mark?
Yeah, it's right in the specs.
Yep,
No, I meant like the boundary, where the Parks Department is. Isn't there a boundary line or, I know there's a limit of work line, but I think there's an actual line that showed it was Parks or not. You know what I'm trying to say? And how
There
does it
is.
work? There is? Okay.
yeah, so that as part of that Article 97, it had to be all laid out exactly what land transferred to the school, what lands transferred to the Parks Department. I mean, they get into, every part of it, of exactly what it is. But in that field, no different than the softball field, the baseball field, the stadium, the field across the street, that's all part of Parks, and they're responsible for the maintaining of that, of those fields. All right.
I'm trying to glance at the drawings and real quick while we're talking.
If it's on there, I don't know that would be prescriptive to who owns what. I think Rich is right in that the land swap kind of spells out who got what land, and that was voted on by this committee. I think it was town meeting and then by the legislature as well. So I think that's going to govern whatever it says in
And
there.
signed,
would
and signed
govern.
by the governor and everything. Yep.
Yeah.
no different. All that land at Jefferson will also go over to the parks and they'll be responsible for maintaining that as well. And any fields on it. All right. If no other discussions on the snow removal, got a motion for the two snow blowers and also Mark the blade. That would be an addition for the existing Bobcat skidder that you've got. So I'll take a motion if anyone
That's
wants
correct.
to.
I'll make
I
a
make
motion.
that- I'll second.
We get a motion by Jane and Jill. Was that you for the second?
I think it was Julie, but I'll make it a
Oh,
second. if you'd
okay.
like.
No, I could, it's hard telling from the voice.
Right.
So, all right, so a motion by Jane and a second by Julie. I'll take a roll call vote. Chris Benica,
Yes.
myself, yes. Christine,
Yes.
Julie,
Yes,
Jill,
Yes,
Tim,
Yes.
Jane,
Yes,
Michelle,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Alan,
Yes,
Emily.
Yes.
I believe that is everyone. Did I miss anyone? I do hate going to these remote meetings. It's a little more, gotta do a little more. All right. So we've got a vote to move forward with the two snow blowers and the blade. Mark, you and Sean, you said you already got that on order?
Correct. I'm looking at the drawing right now.
I've got this.
Go ahead.
I've got the snow blowers on hold. They have them at Stewart's down the street. So once we process that, all set. I don't have the info on the blade, but I can sort that out with Mark.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm looking at the drawing right now. I can see that bold line. There's a line on the drawing that's clearly puts the field separate from our property
Yeah.
on the site drawings. So
Yeah, there was, so as part of this land transfer, the state was very, they gave the school the minimum amount of land that they possibly could to build this building. Everything else ended up going to the parks.
matter of fact, it's labeled Article 97 Land Swap Line on the legend.
Yep.
Okay, it's clear right on here.
There you go.
Yeah, it's right on the drawing. I'm looking at a site drawing C-123.
Yeah.
There's probably other locations as well, just FYI.
So there's a couple of different locations throughout that, the way that worked. But most of that property, I said, goes to the parks.
Right.
All right,
all right. So we're gonna adjourn out of this and go into the other link.
Mhm.
got it. So I'll make a motion to adjourn, not
Motion. To adjourn.
to executive session, not
Oh, yeah, motion
to,
to adjourn into executive session,
I can handle.
purpose of discussing safety issues, not to return to general session.
You got it. Thank you.
Hey,
I'll take
before
that
everybody,
motion.
Rich, before everybody goes, quick question, because I was out of the office on Thursday and Friday. Is there a separate email with a separate?
There
link?
is.
Who sent
No,
the
it's in
email?
the-
No, it's the
Same
same
email.
email, the
Further
same
down.
email down the bottom.
Okay, great. Got it. I'll look for it. Thank you.
Rich, do we have to do roll call to go into executive?
We do,
Yes.
nice catch, Chris.
So I'll take a motion.
Motion,
I
made
made
the
the
motion.
motion, I made the second, so
okay,
now roll
All right.
call.
So now the roll call. So Chris,
Yes.
myself, yes. Christine,
Yes.
Julie,
yes.
Jill,
Yes,
Tim,
Yes.
Jane,
Yes,
Michelle,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Alan,
yes.
and Emily.
Yes.